See that? I'm by myself, but you can hear two people. Anybody know why that is? I know why that is. Just me and Jman. Me and Jman hanging out. Doing what we do. Star Wars. I was just hanging out tonight, cleaning some of my stuff. I'll show you guys. Watch. Here. See. Yeah, I'll show you what I cleaned up. I cleaned up all my star comms. I got all kinds of star comms. I set up a black light up here, so it's pretty cool. I got lots of guys. I cleaned them all up, man. Looks awesome. The black light. castle. And the fortress. I don't know if you can see me. I thought that I would hang out, talk about Star Wars a little bit, maybe do some work on my guys. Yeah, I couldn't help think about Star Wars because all the beeping going on. Yeah. It's like, who is that? Who could that be? It's like, it can only be one person. It's gotta be Jman. Who's Jman? Jman, he's the guy that runs the Abyss server. Been playing Star Wars for years, man, years. In my opinion, that guy's the best, in my opinion. There's nobody better than Jman. You can hear that. See, man, he's invisible. He's got damage reduction. He can do anything he wants. It's not that he needs any of that stuff. It's just he's so powerful, man, that he can do all that stuff. He earned that power. He earned the right to do all that stuff. In my opinion, you know. When I used to play the Jedi's lots way back in the day, I used to think, you know, man, that Jman, he's got such a wicked talent, you know. That guy, he must have sold his soul to the devil. He's so deadly, man. I can't think of anybody more deadlier, you know. Yeah. Who knows? Maybe he did. He's that deadly. A long time ago, man, these Jedi battles were rank. You know, 24-man servers, 24-man servers, and you got pullers, chokers, you name it, man. But it was fair back then because everybody was new to the game. Nobody really knew all the tricks, the ins and outs, you know, that people know nowadays at Jedi fighting. You know. There's all kinds of stuff out there, man. Tricks, little tricks of the trade. You know. When I started with Maul's girl. You know, I figure I'm gonna find one individual that's you know, got the dedication in the heart in the right place, you know, for this Jedi fighting, and I'm gonna train up as hard as I can and be real deadly, right? You know? So like every day, man, I wake up and I'd fight with Maul's girl. I would just Darth Maul, she's Darth Maul, we'd fight all the time. You know, there's other people too who'd come in, join in, and fight every once in a while, but man, I remember days where just day after day, hour after hour, just running around, chasing each other, trying to, you know, show who's better than the other and stuff. It was crazy back then. Because of those servers, man, you know, it was so hard to be the best because, you know, when you're up against all these opponents and like half of them, at least half of them know what they're doing, and the other half that don't know what they're doing, you know, they're probably just as dangerous as the enemy is. No kidding, man. How many times your own players mess you up, man, or all of a sudden just decide not to help you, you know, when you need help, or you think that, oh wow, you know, now's a good chance, you know, there's like a whole bunch of us, you know, let's all get this guy, and then you're the only one attacking. It's like, holy fuck, you know, and that's cool, you know, having a fair fight and all, but when you're trying to set somebody up, you know, you need help for a setup. Yeah. You know, I thought one of the best players, also, was, JOG TOM. You know, JOG TOM. He was like one of the first people that I seen go through a whole fight and like not get killed once in a 24-man server. I was like, wow, this guy must be doing something right. But if you know Tom, well, that's how Tom operates, man. He's sneaky. Looks like Jman's gonna change the map. This is what I do when I'm bored. When I'm bored late at night. Hang on, Star Wars. You know, even if nobody else is playing, I'll just log in. Make sure that my presence is well known. You know, I'm after a good fight, like when I fight and stuff in the Jedi fights. I'm looking for a good fight, like Ryu. You know, I'm not like the best. You know, Ryu's good, but he's not the toughest either. You know, he needs help once in a while to win some of those tough fights. Look at his opponents. Akuma, he can just barely beat Akuma. You know, at his best he can beat Akuma. You know, M. Bison, I don't know, he usually needs help to beat M. Bison. Yeah. So like, I like a good fight, you know. And sometimes, you know, I gotta get killed a few times, man, you know, to get me warmed up, you know, to get me fired up. You know, it would be boring, you know, like it probably is for some of these masters at the Jedi. And when I think of masters, I think of somebody who I haven't seen for a while, which would be Master Matt from JOG. Yeah, Master Matt. He was pretty wicked, man. Just doesn't die. You know, then you got JOG Jeff. He was really good. You know. One guy I miss and thought was really great, you know, before he decided to up and retire, and that was Ninja Final Round. He wasn't all that great at the beginning, but towards the end, before he retired, he was really good. I got the pleasure of talking with him a few times, which was really awesome. Way back in the day, man, I had a strategy, you know. It was It was, don't get killed. Go out there and kill them and don't get killed. I tried that, man, you know. You know, it usually got me terrible scores way back in the beginning. You know, because I'm trying to play it safe, and it just ain't working, man. And then I decided I'm going to change everything up. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to just attack. If I see somebody, I'm going to kill them. And it's that simple. Hopefully I attack and kill them. You know, and back in those days, people didn't know how to block and fight all that deadly. So if you got the first punch in, you know, chances were pretty good that you're going to take them down. You know, unless it's one of those masters, right? So I ended up getting good scores out of that, just attacking, you know. I got good, you know. I learned a lot of stuff, but you know, there was some conflicts that I got into that were just incredible odds. You know, like I get up against people who really know what they're doing, and they have you outnumbered also, you know. And I'm so stubborn, I don't give up. I keep attacking, you know, back in those days, you know. Yeah. And it would make me so pissed off, man. I would get so mad. I'd get so pissed off, man. And I'd usually be fighting. Who am I fighting most of the time? That would piss me off most back in the day. It would usually be Jman and the DevilWing. The two of them, they made such a wicked team. You know, it's like, fuck. One is Darth Maul, the other is a choker of some sort, you know. And I'm by myself. What do you do against, you know, competition like that? You know. And just other good fighters in general that are wicked, man. You know. You just, you gotta get better yourself, man. I would use that rage, and, you know, I would just try hard and harder and harder. And you know, I sometimes would just develop new moves, new maneuvers, new techniques right on the spot, on the go. Yeah. And that's how I learned all the stuff that I learned, was through lots of fighting. I didn't get taught by any master or join some clan and kiss ass to learn their secrets. Yeah. that shit didn't work for me. Yeah. But I tried and developed everything that I know mostly on my own. Yeah. That Star Wars Jedi stuff, it's incredible. The skill level, like, I've been playing this game for years and years, and it's like, what do you work on, man? What do you practice to get better and better? You know, some people practice real specific things, you know. I try to practice all different things, you know, so that you know, I would practice in a way so much that my mistakes would become, you know, maneuvers that I could use to my advantage, that even my disadvantages would become advantages against fighting others, you know. That way I never made any mistakes when you think about it. But then again, I did, right? You know, you go for a move and you fuck it up. You know, how you can recover from that mistake, make that mistake into an advantage, or keep going with it, you know. It's stuff like that that makes people really deadly, right? So when you can do that, you're doing pretty good in Jedi fighting. That's what I do. And it's really simple in a way that in the fighting that you want the high ground. You practically need the high ground in order to get kills. You know, in some circumstances, you know, high ground always works the best. There's ways of getting around people that have the high ground, but you know, they have the advantage if they have the high ground. So that's definitely something you want to try and keep. And if you lose it, well, just keep going. Look for another high ground, I guess. Yeah. So if you want to stay on the high ground all the time, you want to stay on the buildings, this and that, you know, I came to the conclusion, you know, that wow, you know, the highest level of skill, the rankiest stuff that you could do would be like, imagine fighting off the top of those needles, you know, those moisture evaporators. You know, how cool would that be? Because you know, man, I remember, you know, years back when they started out, I remember seeing like some of those Jedis that were just incredibly beyond their time in skill level in every way. You know, compared to other players, they would be on the bubbles, like, you know, the bubble is what I mean, and they would just go from one bubble to the next, and it would look like they're just floating on top of these bubbles, and they would never get knocked off of these bubbles. They would always be on top of these bubbles fighting. They, you know, they wouldn't even get off of these bubbles to kill people, because if you got off of these bubbles to go down and kill somebody, chances were you're freaking dead, man. You're dead meat, man. You're dead, man. You know, because there's so many people, and you make a mistake, there's like a pack of wolves, man, just waiting for you to fucking make that mistake. They'll eat you up, man. So like those masters way back in those days, they were always on the top of those bubbles and never got off of them, you know. That was some amazing stuff, seeing that, you know. But now, you know, I'm trying to practice and work on, well, of course, you know, something even deadlier. So I try to stand on those needle points and try to do backslashes and maneuvers off the top of those needles. Man, yeah, you try doing that stuff, man. Yeah. Yeah. If you can do that, you're doing pretty good, man. It's like 4 in the morning, 5 in the morning. I'm all out of booze. I was drinking beer. Beer is good. Love the imports. yeah, you know, DevilWing, man, I think it had DevilWing sometimes, even still, you know, I haven't heard anything from that guy, any kind of respect or acknowledgement or anything, and Jman too for that matter, you know. I don't care though, doesn't matter, you know. Point is, I still have memories, right, of like fighting Maul's girl, you know, seeing DevilWing do all his cheap stuff on all the people that don't know any better. and Jman, like, and all the gang ups, man, like, man, sometimes there was some incredible freaking gang ups, man. I'd try and fight the whole cruise and everything. I got my ass kicked, but I tell you, I had fun though, man. I had fun rushing at a whole bunch of people, and like, if I got 1 or 2 kills, man, I'd be so happy. Cause like, there'd be this whole huge group, and they're all trying to prevent me from getting a kill, and I still get a kill. You know, that was the best, you know. Even if it cost me a few guys, man, constantly, to get those couple kills, it was fun, man. It was worth it. So yeah, I guess I'm just saying that I'm gonna miss some of these guys, you know, if they close all this shit down, man, you know. Which, if there's a will, there's a way, man. You know, Jman, he'll figure it out, man. If there's a way, Jman, he'll figure it out. Yeah. You know, then there's Melina too. Who's Melina? Well, who's JOG Rabbit? Who's Little Wolf, for that matter? Right? Wow. I just like to keep track of, you know, who's the best, like, out of the guys, who you think's the best, right? But then there's women that play this game too, right? You know? And it's like, who's the best out of the women fighters, right? Man, you know, I'd like to say Melina is the all-time greatest, best Jedi chick of all time. I'll tell you, she's probably the coolest, but JOG Rabbit, she's incredible, man. She's got like that godlike talent that most guys are trying to get, you know. And she's a natural master. So for a chick fighter, yeah, JOG Rabbit needs to be mentioned. Melina also needs to be mentioned. Maul's girl, you know, said enough about her. You know, all the other Jedi guys, now, you know, sure, there's Shocker, there's Fearless, you know, there's Blaine and stuff, you know. But I don't think of them really as much as the ones I've already mentioned. Well, I will say that Blaine has really impressed me. Yeah. There's a few others too, now I come to think of it, you know. Some of those guys that use aliases, you know. And I know what it's like to use an alias too myself. I've done it before. I don't like to do it really, but, you know, what the hell, eh? when you use an alias, it gives you kind of a boost of courage, a little bit of an edge, you know. So some people, they really take advantage of using aliases, you know, to use against their opponents, because they know their opponent, and the opponent doesn't know them. You know, that can be a big advantage and disadvantage depending on who you're fighting. Yeah. Shocker, he was good. You know, I respect him for being good, but he is selfish. That's one thing that he is. He's selfish. I remember way back when Millennium was starting out, I thought I'd join them, right? You know, well, they asked me, they asked everybody practically that was good. And yeah, I thought I'd join them, give them a boost, you know, to their numbers and you know, their stats and stuff, you know. And I thought, you know, for a change, right, that, you know, wow, you know, this shocker, I'm actually gonna join a clan. Let's see how I get treated, you know. Let's check it out. Because I was checking out JOG, kind of, sort. I checked out this clan here, sort of, kind of. Well, you know, want something half decent, you know. Millennium, I thought, you know, it's gonna be half decent. And I would show Shocker my moves, you know, right? And you try and ask Shocker to show you something when it comes to Jedi stuff, right? You know, it's like, oh well, you're just gonna have to learn it on your own. Have to wait a while, figure it out. If you can't get it, well, maybe I'll show you later. You know, like, he just, even the simplest of moves, he wouldn't even frickin' tell you how to do. I'd play dumb sometimes and just be like, oh no, I don't know how to do that. See if he'd tell me, you know. And he wouldn't tell me, man. Makes me laugh, you know, thinking about it, but that's alright. Yeah. Some of them are good though. You know, there's some guys that like really whoop me sometimes, but like, I could be having a bad night, you know. And one thing you gotta remember, all you guys that think you've completely whooped me, man, that is that, you know, I've fought in some of the best guys that you can imagine. And I've given them fights, you know. I've given the best of them fights. I wasn't a walk in the park for just anybody, man. I had some bad nights, yeah, it has happened. But man, I remember fighting some of the best, man. And that's what's exciting. Fighting somebody that's really good, not cheap, because it's easy to get that mistaken, you know, that cheapness and being good, you know. I don't want to get into that. That's a long story about what's cheap and what's good. Yeah. But I'll tell you, when you see skill, you know it when you see it. That's something I like to watch. You know, a lot of times I get on here and I will just watch, you know, people fighting. It's better than wrestling on TV. It's better than commercials. Who the hell wants to watch fucking commercials every 15 fucking minutes, man, you know, on TV? You know, or some lame ass movie that you knows what's gonna happen already, you know. Star Wars, you never know what the hell's gonna happen, man. Yeah. I love watching Jman fight. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna say it straight up, man. I love watching Jman fight. I never seen nobody better at the Jedi fighting than Jman. When you see him fight, it's like, wow, this guy is freaking good, man. Yeah. A lot of people, they fight DevilWing, and they'll be like, man, this guy is so cheap. But he's good at being cheap, you know. So like, can you blame him for being cheap when he wants to be? It's what he, you know, it's what he can do. It's what he can do. And there's Tom, you know. Look at Tom, you know. Yeah, he can be cheap too, you know. But, you know, that's Tom. He's fought in a certain way, you know, the whole time, man, you know. He doesn't do, for example, the crazy jumps and the wild ass attacks that I usually go for, man. When you see me fighting, usually I'll fucking do some crazy attack or the dumbest attack you think going, man, and I'll try and make something out of that. You know, it's like, I know what's gonna happen. I'm attacking. I know what's gonna happen. But can I counter that guy's counter, you know? For detailed fighting like that, you need to have you need a good ping, you know. You need a good connection. If you got some badass lag all of a sudden, and your timing has got to be, you know, you need your timing right on for certain situations. And if your leg just fucks you up, man, then you know, what can you do, man? You're fucking kind of screwed, you know. Yeah. That happens to me a lot. That's okay, man. That's okay if I die lots. You know, I'm dying lots, you know, to show, man, show courage, show people, you know, that you gotta go for it. Don't be scared, you know, you gotta go for it. Yeah. So that's what I think about the Jedi fighting. You know. The Jedi fighting is awesome. Yeah. I love to use the Darth Maul all the time. But sometimes Darth Maul sucks too, you know. I just can't work him sometimes. You know, yeah. Gotta get killed. Gotta get mad. Gotta let the dark side unleash, you know. Then you get some good kills, or at least some wicked fights. And that's what I like best, the Star Wars. I'll talk about the rest, my friends, another time.